folks, it's Irene. Today I'm going to talk about NG tubes. Um, so when Hezi was younger, he already mentioned before, he didn't breastfeed, but he did take to a bottle. But somewhere early on, when he tried feeding from the bottle, something happened. I don't know whether it was seizures or dystonia, um, but he would react in a way that he couldn't finish his feeds. It got to the point where eventually we did have to put an NG tube, through his nose down to his stomach. And Alexander and I would replace those tubes ourselves. A lot of people, you can go to the hospital and they'll do it, but we decided to just do it ourselves. Going to the hospital is a bit of an ordeal, and they always want to do extra x-rays when they do that, so just for the sake of not exposing Hezi to extra x-rays, as well as just checking into the hospital in order to get an NG tube replaced, we did it ourselves at home. The nurses showed us how to do it beforehand. They gave us the tools and instructions. And Alexander and I would do it as a team. So, I don't forget the duration, but every once in a while you're supposed to change it out. There are a few times where Hezi actually, yanked it out somehow. So for various reasons, we would replace it, and it always felt like a lot of different pieces in order to do a tube change. So eventually, after several times of doing this, I created a template that helped just ensure that we had all the tools we needed before we even started the process. Because early on, it seemed like we'd always forget one or two items. So I actually created over here some templates, which I will link to. Again, just forewarning, this is not medical advice at all. This is just a template of the things that our doctor told us to have on hand when we do it. Never perform a G-tube change without your doctor's okay and instruction. So, anyways, that said, these are the templates that I made. When you put it together, it creates everything that we used when we did Hezi's NG tube replacement. And so it prints out on two 8.5 by 11 regular size paper, and you could use it that way, or one other idea that I had, I never got around to doing it, because at some point after that we did eventually have Hezi do the surgery for a G-tube placement, but if we had continued on the NG tube path for much longer, I would have done this. The idea is, this is one of those cutting boards that are flexible and somewhat see-through. So you could theoretically trace it onto a cutting board using a permanent marker, and then anytime a G-tube has to take place, you just have your little cheat sheet and make sure you have all the items necessary before you even start the process. So again, I'm going to link to this template, modify it as necessary. Every kid is different, every situation is different, so whatever your doctor says do. And hopefully this template, you can modify it if there's different items that you need to have on hand, or if your procedures are different than ours. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, you can just leave some notes below. Thanks.